I've been a financial advisor for over 20 years, and these are the 6 most important things that I think you need to own in retirement. And be sure to stay to the end because the last 2 are uncommon, but I think they're really, really important. Okay, let's go for a walk and start. The first one is, of course, a car, right? We live in America. It's almost a requirement in America unless you live in a big town, right? The United States is a big country. Our grocery stores are far away from where we live for the most part. The shopping centers are far away. So having a car is important. It allows you to get to your medical appointments and things like that. Now, as a financial advisor, here's what's going to shock you. Yes, you can save a little bit of money. And if you're married or you have a significant other in your life, the 2 of you, yes, you probably could share a car and it'll probably bring the 2 of you closer together, but maybe not, right? You want to know what's more expensive than car insurance? You want to know what's more expensive than paying for gas for 2 vehicles? And that's a divorce, right? So if you've lived your life with 2 cars, I think go ahead. It's a good investment. Have 2 cars so both of you can have the freedom that you were used to before retirement. And if you want to drive in the same car, you can do that a lot. But if there's times where the 2 of you want to go in different directions, I just think for the extra cost, the reduced stress on the relationship and the increased convenience is worth it. Okay, the second one is health insurance. Again, kind of an American thing, right? If you're retiring before 65, when most of us are going to qualify for Medicare, you really need to think about where am I going to get my health insurance from? And if you're over 65 and or already on Medicare, give some thought to long-term care insurance. It's not for everybody. It's expensive. There's a lot of caveats. There's potentially some gotchas. I am not an insurance broker. I'm a fee-only financial advisor. And nothing I am sharing here is financial advice. It can't be. I don't know your situation, but this can be educational, and my goal is to put things on your radar screen. So long-term care is something you definitely should think about and then make the decision whether it's right for you or not. So talk to a licensed person, find out, what kind of coverage you could afford and what that includes. There tends to be a fair number of carve-outs with long-term care insurance, and really think about long-term care insurance as a gift that you're giving to your kids or a gift that you're giving to your spouse to kind of help out during that stressful time. But long-term care can be expensive, so it's definitely worth looking into. Okay, the third one, related to health insurance. It's different, but it's staying healthy. Hopefully, you don't use the health insurance that you have, right? So stay healthy. How do you do that? I think you do that first and foremost by doing the basics that we all know we're supposed to do, right? And sleep is a big one of those, right? When you're working, many of us have got by on 6 or 7 hours. The experts say, I'm not a physician, but I've read that we're supposed to get closer to 8 or 9 hours of sleep a night. So invest in yourself, do that. Also, stay physically fit. Go to the gym. As we get older, we lose muscle mass. Do what you can to keep up your muscle mass. Cardiovascularly, walk or run, and see your physician for all of this. But just do what you can to stay in shape. And then don't be afraid to invest in yourself with good groceries, good food, and invest in yourself by taking the time to cook healthy food for yourself. Because, I think my health is much more important to me than what my balance is in my bank account. Now, it's easy to measure my balance in my bank account. It's not so easy to measure my balance in my health. So it's easy to focus on one versus the other. But if you have to choose, your health is much more important than your wealth. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, the next one is an emergency fund. And frankly, this probably should have been number 1. Having an emergency fund so that you don't have to sell your investments if the market is down. You have cash available, not just for, if your car breaks down and you need to come up with $1,000 or $2,000, but to have a couple months where if the market's down, you say, you know what, I don't want to touch my investment accounts. Now that should be part of your asset allocation, right? Your long-term asset allocation. But it's just a lot easier, like during COVID when the market was down very aggressively, one of the fastest, if not the fastest drop in the market in US history, that you could weather that storm without having to worry about, gee, what do my investment accounts look like, right? The idea is to give you options if you have an unexpected expense come in, and if something unexpected like COVID happens. Sorry for that noise. It's a holiday weekend here where I'm recording this. In fact, behind me, you probably can't see it, but there's a boat in that water, and that is a barge. I don't want to date this video, but they're going to be shooting off fireworks, so you can probably guess which holiday it is. Okay, continuing to go here. The next one is, a home. Should you own your home? Now, full disclosure, this might be the case of, this is an advisor sharing some news. During COVID, I actually sold my home. Right? The prices in my neighborhood went up quite a bit. And I said, you know what, at this price, I'm a seller. I'm glad I was. I'm going to enjoy the flexibility that my life has right now. But for many people, owning a home gives them a sense of security. And early in retirement, if you want to travel, if you want to, and I think you should, right? Your health will never be, your health and your vitality and your mental acuity will probably never be higher than when you first retire. So if you've got travel on your mind, boy, the early years of retirement is a great time to do that. So, take advantage of that. And maybe you actually rent your house out for a couple months if you're going to be gone for 3 months or 6 months or something like that. So that's an option for you as well. To think about. And again, this is a case where I weighed the pros and the cons, and where I came out, I said, you know what, actually, I don't want to own a house right now. But that's not the right decision for everybody. In fact, most people, as they retire, like the security and the sense of a permanent home when they retire. So what's right for me is not right for everybody. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, now the last two I said are kind of out of the box, and I think are super important. And I think the last one is the most important at all. But I think we're on number 5 or number 6, is to continue to learn. I consider myself a lifelong student. It's not a match for everybody, but I think it's important for all of us to continue to learn. So whether that's learning a new hobby, or we're learning something like I learned YouTube. So whatever it is for learning, and there's all kinds of resources, and you know what, information is free, right? You've got podcasts, you've got YouTube videos, you've got the internet where you can search for articles, you've got low-cost audibles. I love books on tapes. This isn't sponsored, I wish it was, by Audible. Jeff Bezos, if you want to sponsor me, reach out, let me know. So that's continue to learn, and I think you're going to get dividends from that for a long, long time. And then a really powerful one is just maintain that sense of adventure, right? You've worked hard, you've sacrificed to give yourself financial security, and you want to have this sense of adventure so you can hit the ground running, and when you first retire, take full advantage of it. You're also going to want to check out these 2 videos. This video here that talks about 5 reasons to retire. I'm sorry, this video here, let me start over. This video here that talks about average income for retirees, and this video down here that talks about 5 reasons to retire as soon as you can.